Well, hello there everyone. I've just been to a Bloomburrow pre-release, and I'm happy to say that I really enjoyed the set. I think generally sets with the creature type synergies are fun to draft, and they usually bring us the gift of new subtype commanders. This set in particular caters to quite a few of the lesser supported subtypes, such as squirrels, raccoons, and otters. And it's inspired me to look at some budget typal commanders. Today, it's frogs. Obviously, when it comes to creature type synergies, the most common commander is Morophon. It's 5 colours, allowing you to use every single creature of your chosen type in the deck, and also gives you access to all the changelings and shapeshifters in existence. But I think it's kind of a cop-out. If the majority of your creatures are every creature type, is it really a frog deck? Plus, there are 4 new frog commanders for us to choose from Bloomburrow itself, 3 of which are tricolour. I feel like Calamity is the most froggy of the commanders, since it actually mentions frogs in its text, turning all your frogs into mana dorks, which is a great ability. However, since he's only 2 colours and can fit into all 3 of the other commanders as one of the 99, I'm going to discount him from my options. Helga could be a very powerful deck, essentially being a fixed Chilane, and Flubs draws cards, which is always good to have in a commander. However, after reviewing the other frogs in Magic's catalogue, I decided it was best to go for the Sultai build. There are almost no froggy cards in white and red, but black allows us to tap into creatures like the Gitrog monster and Augur. Before I get into the meat of the deck, I do want to reiterate that it will be a budget-friendly deck. There are a bunch of $40 cards that will make the deck better, of course, but if you're interested in building Frog Tribal, I doubt you're vying for the most competitive build. So, now we've chosen our froggy commander, let's have a look at what he does. A 2/4 Death Touch Frog Wizard Noble. For black, green, blue, you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play land cards and cast spells with mana value 4 or greater from the top of your library. Tap to surveil 2. Okay, so the main 3 things I see here are lands, lots of lands, land matters, and landfall. Mana value 4 or greater, big spells, big creatures, value from being able to cast from the top of your deck. And surveil, graveyard synergy, interaction with the top of your deck, and digging for cards. For me, being able to play lands from the top is much more exciting than the 4 mana cost or greater, especially because most frogs we have to put in the deck cost below 4 mana. Simic is always good at card advantage and playing lots of lands, but the black influence adds that graveyard aspect to our card advantage. Rather than just scrying, digging for cards, Surveil allows us to put the cards into our graveyard if wanted, and that's an opportunity I don't want to miss out on exploring. So the main focus of the deck will be lands matters, frog tribal with a dash of graveyard synergy. Okay, that seems like a lot of things to cram in one deck. Let's have a look at what frogs have to offer. Luckily, Bloomburrow, it's really hard to say, Bloomburrow, has brought us a variety of frogs, 23 to be exact. That's a lot. As I've already mentioned, I'm including Clement. There's no way I can pass up on that mana advantage. There are also more frogs to help with mana, such as Clifftop Lookout, Poison Dart Frog, and Rampant Frogantua. Grolnock the Omnivore looks like it would be a good card for the deck, but on second look, I realised that it's a bit of a non-bow with our commander. We don't really want to be exiling cards when Grolnock is the only thing allowing us to cast them from exile. So if someone kills him, what then? We just have a bunch of cards in exile and not in our graveyard, where we can use them again, so yeah, he's been removed from the list. The Gitrog monster and Gitrog Ravenous Ride both give us value in the form of allowing us to play additional lands and drawing cards from that. Frogs are no strangers to card draw, with cards like Dour Port Mage, Bellowing Crier, and Pond Prophet synergizing with Bloomburrow's frog sub-theme of bounce and ETBs. Many of the frogs interact with bounce, which will allow you to get repeated value from the ETBs. Haze Frog does one of the most annoying things you can do to a player in Commander, fog, as does my nemesis, the Spore Frog. I can't believe I'm advocating for you to put this in your deck, but it is one of the most played frogs in Commander. Augur, Spawn of Turg, is another graveyard land synergy card, also a frog. There's also a bunch of +1/+1 counter cards in the deck. Who knows? Maybe you'll end up winning the game with 20 cards in hand and 20 Toad, or saving a key creature with Plaxcaster Frogling and Shroud, and certainly drawing a bunch of cards with Pollywog Prodigy and Psychic Frog. Shh! Stop it, I'm trying to record a thing. Trollbred Guardian might also come in handy if you're swinging in with your massive galloping Lizrog, giving all your creatures with +1 counters trample. Leica. No. There are also some non-frog creatures that will give buffs to your frogs, like Valley Floodcaller and Tatsunari Toad Rider, allowing you to make a frog unblockable. There are a handful of frogs that don't exactly fit into any sub-themes, but I'm including them anyway, because, well, they're frogs, and I want to play as many frogs as I can. And Octomancer? What a fun card! You gift one 8/8, and then start making your own 8/8s every end step. That includes your opponent's turns. So good. And the frogness doesn't stop there. There are a bunch of frog-adjacent cards, not just creatures. Spells that turn other things into frogs. Things that can make token frogs, and things with frog in the name. And I'm including most of them. So now let's look at what we actually have in the deck. I've added all the froggy stuff, but we do actually want this deck to play, so let's check out card draw, ramp, and removal. So far we have 9 card draw, 7 ramp, and 10 removal. So let's bump up those numbers and add some more ramp. These 3 cards will allow us to maximize the benefits from our commander's ability to play cards from the top of our deck, and to surveil lands into our graveyard. This way we won't be missing any opportunities to play 2 lands per turn, and to dig deeper through our top deck for more shiny toys. I'll add Cultivate and Farhaven Elf just in case we don't have our engine up and running yet. A bonus with Farhaven Elf is that it's a good target for our bouncy frogs. You know, the ones that bounce things back to hand. The treasure tokens from Tireless Provisioner can also be seen as ramp. Ramp leads to ramp, leads to more ramp. Pretty good. Tatiova Benthic Druid is another landfall creature who's going to help us with card draw. And we can't forget Vanquisher's Banner, which is going to draw us cards every time we play one of our many frogs. I also like Aether Channeler for card draw, because it's an ETB with options, and another great target for our bouncy frogs. I also love these for ETB creatures. My favourite budget board wipe is Aetherize. It's astonishing the number of times it catches people out, including me. And let's use In Garrick's Wake, since we should have plenty of mana. Okay, I've got 3 non-land slots left. This is hard, but okay. Let's go with these 3 tremendous landfall cards. I don't need to argue why these are good, they're just good. The deck comes to around $100 according to Tapped Out, which I would say isn't so bad. Obviously I didn't include all the jank frogs and shapeshifters that I could have. There are definitely ways to reduce the price further. You could take out Azusa, Psychic Frog, and Gitrog Monster. My lord, Pollywog Prodigy is $20. What's going on? Removing these 4 cards would slash the budget almost in half. Either way, I hope this gave you some inspiration on what to put in a froggy deck. I hope you're all enjoying Bloomburrow too. Don't forget to give me a like if you like this video, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss the next one. Until then, let me know in the comments if I missed anything amazing, and I'll see you next time.